Right now, I want to really do justice to something that has become a question in many people's hearts, and that is talking about cryptocurrency. A lot of persons have many negative things said about cryptocurrency, especially from the class of people who believe their words as a financial advice. From the government, from big financial institutions, many negative things have come from these cycles as regards to cryptocurrency. Many have called it many names that puts us in a shake whether to put our money in cryptocurrency or not. But today I'm going to be taking you through the journey for you to understand the story of cryptocurrency and how it came to be and what exactly has crypto come to solve. Just go ahead and listen. You are going to pick these information and it's going to help you to guide your decision, especially if you want to invest or get some assets in cryptocurrency. Hello, welcome to my channel. Here we educate people on digital skills and also give you tips that will help for personal development. If you're here for the first time, please can you go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime we have a new video. I want to go back to how our ancestors were trading. Before we get to the present trading system that we are using today, we've had about two different trading systems that has collapsed for us to have the one that has emerged. That is talking about the barter system. The barter system was the first trading system that we had. And this barter system is a system where people trade goods for another goods. If you need a laptop, you can trade your clothes for a laptop. So it depends on what you want to trade for you to get what you want. But there is one challenge with this particular system of trading. And that challenge with this particular system of trading is that there has to be what we call coincidence of wants before a transaction will happen. That means I must have what you need and you will have what I need before we can trade. If you don't have what I need, in as much as I have what you need, transaction will not be able to happen. That gave room to a new system which was better than the barter system. This new system is the system we call the gold standard. The gold standard was where a paper currency was designed, but it was tied to gold. It was tied to some portion of gold. So that is just that standard we started running. But this particular system also had its own problem. The problem it had was that gold was not evenly distributed. There are some countries that have gold in abundance and there are some countries that you cannot find gold at all. So the gold was not evenly distributed. In 1971, US pulled out of the gold system and came up with another system. In a system where the paper currency is now backed up by government decree. In this time, the paper currency was now controlled by the government and the CBN. And that system is the system they call the Fiat System. And today, that is what the entire world is using today. It's called the Fiat Standard. The Fiat System is a system where the currency we have is being backed by the government decree. So everything that we do is centralized. It's centralized, and all the transactions we are doing passes through a body which is called the CBN, which is called the financial institutions, and then they vet every transaction that happened through us. So they have our informations and they have all the data of the people, of the masses under them. So that is one part that we had. And another thing is this: they print currency whichever way they want. But then we had a group of people who had issues with this. They have a problem with government having access to their individual transactions. They also have issues with transparency happening within institutions. They were called the cyberpunks. The cyberpunks believed that the system that Fiat was designed to run under was a problem because that system was designed to run under trust. What I mean by trust is this: the masses have to trust the government because whatever the government brings in terms of the currency is what they accept. So it was riding on trust in the government. Now the problem we have is, do we really trust the government? Do we really trust the government? So the cyberpunks, this group of people had problem with this entire fiat system because they had a movement to advocate with the use of digital cryptography to defend individual privacy and also to promote transparency between institutions. That was actually what the cyberpunks were doing. This digital cryptography, which is called crypto, was what they were using, designing things to be able to counter the fiat system. In 2007-2008, there was global financial crisis, which led to the collapse of Lehman Brothers. And within this crisis, there was a paper circulating in the cryptography mailing list. And this white paper that was titled peer-to-peer cash system. Peer-to-peer cash system, that is Bitcoin peer-to-peer cash system. And this mailing list, we are mainly filled with cyberpunks. So when he said this thing, he had about 9 pages explaining what this Bitcoin is, and he was trying to design a framework where people can now be able to run their transaction between each other, having the financial institution, having CBN out of the transaction. So that was what Bitcoin came to do. It was trying to take away the government from our transaction. We can transact within each other without having an intermediary involved. Intermediary will mean the government. Okay, so that was what they designed. They came up with a framework, doing some kind of calculations for them to be able to achieve this. So that was how Bitcoin came to be. And when it happened, the people that adopted this was the cyberpunks, and they started mining it. Remember when this guy did this, he first mined that Bitcoin on the blockchain technology. So at that time, when you mine a Bitcoin, you'll be rewarded with 50 Bitcoin. So that was how these cyberpunk were mainly the early adopter of crypto, of Bitcoin. So that was just what it is. And what am I trying to say? Bitcoin only came to solve this trust issue. The problem we have with government having access to the private information and the lack of transparency in this institution. That was what Bitcoin came to do. And this Bitcoin that was designed had all these problems solved in it. Do you think the financial institutions will be fine with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? The answer is no. Do you think the government as well will be fine with cryptocurrency? The answer is no. And if you notice, a lot of government have started trying to create their own virtual currency, which is not going to be on the blockchain technology. It's actually not cryptocurrency. Most countries are already doing that. Even my own country, Nigeria, have created a virtual currency. Okay, but that does not really solve the problem. The problem is not the virtual currency that was created. The problem we had was the trust in the institution and how much the informations and data of people are being exposed. So that was basically the problem. So when they keep doing all this, is when countries keep going back and front, they don't really know that what is attracting people to cryptocurrency is not really the money they make from cryptocurrency, but it's the problem that the cryptocurrency is solving for them. And I've just mentioned those two things. But let me give you a little information about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is virtual and Bitcoin is hosted on blockchain technology. And if you want to understand blockchain technology is not designed for cryptocurrency alone, because sometimes people, when we hear blockchain technology, we think it's all about Bitcoin. No. Blockchain technology is just a technology that people even in financial institutions can use, because one of the things about blockchain technology is so secured. It's so secured and it's so transparent. And they use what we call nodes. They use systems to be able to verify transactions. And that is what crypto miners are doing. So what the blockchain technology do, when you hear blockchain simply means chain of ledgers. Those blocks you are hearing are simply ledgers. So what happens in blockchain technology is that we have a ledger, and when one ledger is filled, another ledger is created. And when another ledger is created, it is linked to the old ledger. That is why it's called a chain. So when you hear block simply means ledgers. And when you hear chain means these things are linked. The new one is linked to the old one. You create a new one is linked to the old one. That is how they are all having a chain. You understand? And they are all addressed with a hash. So that is what blockchain simply means. And it is not only crypto that is using blockchain. People in financial institutions can use blockchain. In your own business, you can also be able to design, can actually use blockchain technology to be able to secure your system. So it's a technology on its own that anyone can actually adopt. And it's still the same technology that cryptocurrency was hosted. It was still the same technology that Bitcoin was hosted. In the year 2000 and 2021, Bitcoin went up to $68,000. And that was a crazy rise. The question is, how come? I want us to know that price is all about demand and supply. When there's high demand, there's increase in price. When there's high supply, there is decrease in price. Today, as at the time I'm recording this video, Bitcoin is about $37,000. But in 2001, it went to $68,000. And we understand that this white paper that was circulated was actually sent by a man who we don't know. I want to believe is a pseudonym called Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto was the one that created this Bitcoin. And we understand that Bitcoin had a total supply of 21 million. And we also understand that this man has, we don't know if it's a man or a group of people, but we have 1.1 million of this coin to himself. He owns 1.1 million. That means when Bitcoin went to $60,000, it simply means that this guy was about 60-something billion dollar rich. Now, and there's a speculation that Bitcoin in the coming bull run is going to get to 150 million. That means if it should get to 150 million, it means that Satoshi Nakamoto will be worth $167 billion. And that will actually take him to be on the list of the top 10 richest people in the world. Now, how about this crazy rise? Today we have so many coins now, and that we have Ethereum. So after Bitcoin, we now call the rest of other coins alternative coins. That's why we hear the word altcoins. We have the likes of Ethereum, and we have the likes of BNB and others, Binance, and many other coins. As at the time I am recording, the crypto market has a market capitalization of $1.4 trillion, which is very huge. And most of the assets in crypto is actually beating a lot of assets in the entire market. Yet, a lot of financial institutions, governments are banning it, saying all manner of negative things about it, yet it's gaining its ground. At the early stage of Bitcoin, now let me share with us how this all started. When the early adopters were mining it, they had a forum where they come to talk about Bitcoin. And as at that time, Bitcoin had almost no value. And sometime in 2010, around May, by name Lazio Haniaks came to his own account and posted that he's willing to trade his 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pieces of pizza. And 2 days after, he came and said, I have successfully traded my 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pieces of pizza that worth about $25. As at that time, Bitcoin was almost no amount. And after that May 2010, when this guy did this, people started trading their Bitcoin for something. And by December 2010, Bitcoin went up to $0.39. $0.39. And by the time we entered 2011, by April 2011, Bitcoin hit $1. The demand started going up. The crypto space started gaining this momentum. An exchange was, a company created an exchange called MT Goals, where you can now be able to trade Bitcoin with our regular currency. So at that time, people can now sell their Bitcoin for money. And before you know it, Bitcoin started going up. And today, as I speak to you, Bitcoin have been able to get an all-time high of about $68,000. And today, we have more than 15,000 coins, cryptocurrency in the market. Many of them doing very well. So this is how this came to be, and he came to solve a problem. And the problem he came to solve is the problem of trust that we have in government. And today, people are rushing into it. The masses, with all that people are talking about cryptocurrency, masses are still going into it. Now, the most interesting part of it is that within about 2021, 2022, we had so many good news of institutions coming into to invest in crypto. That will actually be one of the biggest boom for the crypto space. When institutions don't just invest. Cryptocurrency grew with retail investors. Retail investors are individuals like us who are taking the street without having proper research on the coin. Yes, we would have done to the best that we can. But when institutions come, they come with billions of dollars. Recently, I heard about MicroStrategy on how much it has, how much Bitcoin that it has. So right now, institutions are coming in, MicroStrategies, and recently a country also adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. So a lot is happening. And while cryptocurrency is receiving all the attack, is receiving NCC suing them, suing Ripples and Binance and all that, these coins are still gaining weight. It is because it is solving a problem. And remember, I've mentioned those 2 problems it's solving. So it's difficult for it to go extinct. It's difficult for it to just disappear, like they just said. So I want to encourage you, and I want you to listen to my video over and over again and get a better understanding on how this came to be and why we are where we are when it comes to cryptocurrency. And today, we're still riding and enjoying the move of the crypto space. And I also want to encourage you, if you want to come into the crypto space, it is advised that you are properly informed. It is advised that you go for proper training on it. Because it's a new market, the volatility of this market is very, very wide. You can make so much all of a sudden, and you can actually lose so much all of a sudden. So it's very, very important that you do informed investment. Make sure you learn, equip yourself properly with what you need to know before you can actually invest in cryptocurrency. So I'm going to drop in my link. If you really want to join my training on cryptocurrency, I'm going to drop the link to my WhatsApp group so that you can actually come on board to join my training on cryptocurrency. If you find this video interesting, please go ahead and subscribe, and also hit the notification button, because I'm going to be bringing more of such videos to you, especially on crypto and other digital skills. So please do well and subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video.